Next game, Seahawks at the Rams. This line opened up Rams -1. It's up to 1.5. So who do you like here?
I like the Seahawks. I don't see why they would be an underdog in this game because they're better than the Rams. I know that there are some injury issues at cornerback for them, and the Rams have the personnel needed to take care of that. But Jared Goff at any point can just have a terrible game. My boss at Sporting News likes to say that he's matchup proof in the way that he can be really good against any team and really bad against any team. Like, it's just whatever Jared Goff shows up, it's that Jared Goff. So I don't trust that he's going to show up in this one. And again, this goes to the betting on elite quarterbacks coming off of a loss. Russell Wilson just had his worst game of the year. He was outplayed by Josh Allen in a battle of two MVP candidates. That's probably not going to sit well with him. And also, he's in a very competitive division, and he's got to keep winning to have a chance at the 1 seed of the NFC and to stay on top of this division too. So if he loses to the Rams, then you're talking about, oh boy, we've got to be able to win a lot more games down the stretch. Whereas if they win this one, it's a lot more comfortable. And I saw that comment. I know the Seahawks aren't going to be able to pressure Jared Goff that much, but you don't always need to pressure Jared Goff to force him into mistakes. It helps. He's under pressure. He's much worse, but I still think they'll be able to make him make some mistakes. And either way, the spread is small enough that, first of all, aren't favored in this one, and I think they're going to win. So why wouldn't I bet them at this price? So I like the Seahawks for probably 3 units at this point, because just betting on elite quarterbacks coming off a loss, especially when they're not favored, that seems like a good idea to me.
Yeah, again, to put a number to that, Russell Wilson, except for his rookie year, he's 23-10 against the spread off a loss. Like, it just goes to show. I mean, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Like, those are the 4 quarterbacks you want to target off a loss. And we get 2 of those this week, which is great. No complaints there. So I'm definitely going to take the Seahawks here. I know their pass defense is so shaky, and the Rams have some talented receivers. But, Jamal Adams wasn't quite himself in his first game back. I think he's going to be a lot better. I think you'll see that. You tend to see that. Like, when players are out for a long time, they come back. The first game is not that good, and then they get better. Like, we saw that with Miles Jack a few weeks ago. He was injured, and then he came back. And his first game was bad, and then he got better. I think that's going to happen with Adams. And then some other players could come back for the Seahawks too, like Shaq Griffin and Hugo Amadi. Like, if they get back one of those guys, suddenly their cornerback groups will be a lot better. Maybe Mike Upati comes back to help with the offensive line. So there's definitely some upside for the Seahawks here. And, your boss is definitely right about Jared Goff. Like, he can self-destruct at any moment. He failed to take advantage of the Cowboys and the Giants matchups. Like, what the Rams score in those 2 games? I know in the opener, they scored, what was it, 20 points against the Cowboys? Yeah, 20 points against the Cowboys, and then 17 points against the Giants. So, this is a good matchup for Jared Goff. And, maybe he throws for 300 yards. But maybe he throws for 150 yards and 2 interceptions. Like, that could definitely happen. So I would not want to rely on Jared Goff. And I don't know about the pressure part. Like, Carlos Dunlap looked pretty decent last week. He got some pressure a little bit. And I don't trust the Rams offensive line as much as I do Buffalo. So, I'm definitely right there with you on Seattle. It's at least 3 units. And if Seattle gets some of their players back, then it might be 4 or 5.
Yeah, I could definitely see upgrading this. I have a range of 3 to 4 on it. It just seems like a good bounce back spot for the Seahawks because they tend to play well against the Rams, if I remember correctly, too, at least in recent years.
Yeah. Again, 23-10 against the spread off a loss. Devin, who asked what Russell Wilson's record is off a loss. So